All right. Hey guys, it's Andrew again here today, and I've got another success story to share with you guys. And on the other side of the camera, I've got Khoa with us today, who just actually got hired last week. So first off, Khoa, thanks for taking a little bit of time out of your afternoon just to share your story with us. Much appreciated. But let's dive right into it, man. Tell everyone a little more about your background, a little about who you are, what you've done in the past.
Well, I did a lot of digital marketing consulting for a lot of businesses, entrepreneurs, speakers, authors. And so I have a sales and marketing background. Um, but just out of all that sales background, I realized one of the most key components is the outreach, the phone, the phone outreach and inbound. How do you handle those requests? And doing some research, I found science-based sales, and I thought, wow, this is like exactly what I was looking for, that had the all step-by-step process that's been proven to perform. So it got my curiosity. I love the guarantee. I always follow the business model of like,
Mm-hmm.
if your stuff is really that good, let us try it out for a while. And if
Yep.
it works out, we like it, then we'll get paid for it. And
Exactly.
that was a bold claim that y'all made about getting a six-figure career, a sales career in 6 weeks. And it was just so clever how you would use the methodology to help job placements, and also just as the first homework assignment, but also to assign that and apply that to the new workplace that we work at. So that's just a key thing, and the methodology works. It works for you to get a job, and it works for you to perform well at the job. So I
Exactly.
saw it as a complete system, and usually I paid $10,000 to $20,000 just go to a weekend seminar to just learn a fraction of some of those things that was
Yep.
all completely packaged in a convenient format I could consume, on the road or at home. And also the exercises clearly explained and walking through so that I don't get stuck in any of the challenges. And got landed me a job within a matter of weeks after
Yes. Very quick for you. So, and I was saying, it sounds like obviously you appreciate or, value things like education, constantly learning. I do want to take a step back because, you have a pretty extensive background and, you mentioned digital marketing, but I know what you're not telling is, you did have a technical background as well. So having that background, having a marketing background, a little bit of sales, what made you want to, hey, I want to get more into a true sales role into tech, into software?
I realized that knowledge is probably one of the greatest investments, and if there's an opportunity to invest in people who has already had the experience and the success and put into a proven formula, that made it into a complete and simple system that I could model, adapt to, and thrive in. I know how to value that, and it's worth every penny every time I pay for the high-end education. So when I saw Prehired had the whole thing that was comprehensive, not only to give you the skills to pay the bills, but also get you the job and and perform well at the job, so you get bonuses and promotions and pay raises too. I mean, it's a legit product, especially if you're offering it for me to try out before I even pay you, and I pay you after I've already landed my six-figure sales job. So, I mean, that deal is a deal you can't say no to. So it's a no-brainer.
Exactly. So when you did first come across us though, did you have any doubt in your mind, like, what's this all about? Or, you did enough, or maybe you did, but then you did your research, like, okay, this, especially this guarantee, this is legit. Any skepticism, anything like that, or,
Well, definitely I had some, but doing the research and seeing your online presence and how much testimonials and how many people that exist in multiple different networks that showed success with your program, and how many people you've helped. I mean, it's there's research there in the results. So, I mean, it was no brainer for me.
Awesome. So you already talked a little bit about, well, what you liked about the program, everything kind of bundled together. What I guess, if you had to pick a couple things, maybe the most valuable, maybe it was a software you learned, or maybe it was, something about cold calling. What would you, or, something else, what would you say, one or two things that maybe your biggest takeaway from the program?
Probably the biggest takeaway of all is getting certified, because that's the first thing that my employers, that gets all the people that ask the request to interview ask about and wanting to find out more. So right off the bat, it's a training that they are curious about or recognize that puts you above the other or ahead of the other SDRs that are applying for that job. So that alone just got me the majority, a lot of responses for interviews or interview requests throughout my time on the market looking for a job. So that alone was a big takeaway. But not only that, but breaking things down to a simple, concise format where here are the tools, here's the skills, and here's the workflows. And just developing a workflow and a sales pipeline for each task or each profile that you're trying to market to. That system is there, you just adapt to it. So that system I could take away anywhere, whether it's in my job or in my business or anything I do in the future. So
Exactly. So let's talk about the job search, because I think 3 weeks, maybe. I could be wrong, but it was a short amount of time. Normally it's about 6 weeks, but I think you did it from actually being certified to, getting the offer was, I think, only 3 weeks. So what was that search like for you? Because I know, well, I'll let you explain. What was that search like for you? Companies you interviewed with, how many, how prepared you felt, all the above. Just kind of walk us through that.
well, the program that you did prepared us pretty well. The thing about it is a lot of that was review for me. However, I
Mm-hmm.
was still rusty because I've taken a break. I was directly in digital marketing. That's a different job function than, say, sales development. Similar but different.
Mm-hmm.
However, when I was just completing the assignment, there were people and updating my LinkedIn profile. There were people already outreaching for me, requesting interviews um, before I was even done certification. So I had to uh, consult with one of your mentors to make sure it was a good thing to do and it was a smart thing to do, and we did. Um, but after that and we went through that interview process. Like we went to the fourth round with only a day or two.
Mm-hmm.
Before I was even completed with my certification, we had to get our certification done like just in time before the
Yes, a little quick. We rushed it.
yeah. So I do appreciate your team for accommodating that. That was definitely helpful. And I prepared as much as I can. Although it was my first interview I had in a long time, I I was prepared from the training, and it turned out great and got me to the fourth interview. However, as I started to be more comfortable and started to be familiar with applying that to the job search and the job interview process, things just started accelerating. Almost everyone who contacted me for an interview, like I had out of everyone that contacted me for an interview, I had at least a second or third one lined up right off the bat. So as my technique improved, I ended up finding a job that I really liked, and the interview went really well, and they extended me a job offer within a week.
Exactly. And now your skills are going to be paying off to pay the bills.
Exactly.
So let's talk. Just kind of share who are you going to be working for? What will you be doing? What do you just give an overview of what they do?
Okay, so Bright Talk is a company that's similar to TED Talks, except it's for professionals and businesses. So subject matter experts create content that educate the people in their space, professionals and businesses. And I am going to be doing sales development rep with them, but I'm also
Hmm.
going to help them synergize their marketing and sales and apply a lot of the sales-based science training that I have, along with my emotional copywriting and neurolinguistic
Hmm.
programming, sales-based psychology, all that kind of stuff, and buyer psychology, uh,
Hmm.
to basically help them grow their sales, their leads, and their business. So
Awesome. I know you wanted to, you wanted that marketing to, possibly play, and I'm glad it's going to be working out so you can shine a little more. Last question I've got, we're the first to tell everyone that pre-ed is not for everyone. For most people, it might not be a good fit. We really need to make sure this is a good fit on both sides. And there's a lot of people that, that might be on the fence about this. So what would you say for someone that's on the fence about, whether they should join pre-ed or not? What advice would you give?
well, I definitely agree with you that it's not for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to really value and know the worth of education, especially quality training, and not just education. And if you can get education, training, and you're gonna get the certification, which says that you know the tools, the skills, and the workflows to get the job done, but get the job done well. I mean, that's something that's highly valued, or should be highly valued, if you value learning and growing as an and value the value of education, but also if you can know the value of how much that's worth for other companies and managers, for you to have that, to say that they have employees that have that certification, just puts them on a different level playing field. And I feel like you guys offer that. So if you can value that, then you're definitely pre-hire material. But if you're not, then there's more learning to do.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you have that leverage with companies, but I mean, I agree. Like you got to value the education, because, if you're valuing it, you're going to put in the time and the effort and the work. If you don't really, things we don't value, we don't care about, plain and simple. And I've seen some people, unfortunately, that they don't value this as much, and it's a struggle for them, without a doubt. So that's a great point you make in terms of you need to value this, because if you do value it, you're going to do everything it takes to be successful. And obviously you did. And now you're going to start an awesome job starting next week. So we're pumped for you, man. But thanks again for taking the time to share a little more about your story with us, Khoa. I'm excited to hear how the next couple months go, next 6 months, year, so on and so on, and where your career takes you. So definitely stay in touch, and best luck, man.
Definitely. Well, I want to leave one question.
Sure.
Is one question that really got me to really zero in and gave me the difference, that made the difference, was when I asked myself this question: what is the difference, or what does sales means to me, and what's the difference between a sales professional and a sales career? When I was able to get clarity on that was when I started to thrive at those interviews.
I like that. That's a good question. Well, thanks, Khoa. Have a good one, man.
Thank you.